Hi everyone, this is Mr. Dollar, also known as Peace Daddy. The lesson that I'm going to teach you today is called the Multiplication Checkerboard Second Passage. So the goals are the same as in the first passage. The child is going to see a geometric representation of multiplication, and the child is going to understand the role that place value plays in multiplication. Today we're just going to do the second passage, and this one is a little bit higher of a level of abstraction. Remember, in Montessori we start with the concrete and we slowly move to the abstract. So this is the second passage, just a little harder for folks that know their multiplication facts a little better maybe, or they've been working on the first passage for a while and it's time for them to move on to the second passage. So I'm going to move the camera down so that you can see the work. This is our multiplication checkerboard. And if you watched the first video, we used 4,327 multiplied by 23. And we're going to use that same problem in this exercise. And I'm even going to tell you what the answer is. It's 99,521. So you can write that down if you weren't with me on the first passage. And the important part of doing this work is not getting the correct answer, but more importantly is how do I get the correct answer? What am I doing in order to make sure that I get that number right? So hopefully you've had enough time to write that down and get the answer and everything is lined up. All your place values are correctly aligned, one under the other. And let's go ahead and start. So in the second passage, you're going to use the same problem, but this time when we start out with 7 taken 3 times, if you watched the other video, you might have seen that I laid out 3 bars of 7 like that. We're not going to do that this time because by now you should know that 7 times 3 is 21, and I'm just simply going to skip that step and go right next to the next step, which is that 7 times 3 is 21. Now, I'm not putting the 2 and the 1 in the same box because this 2 represents 20 and this 1 represents 1. So this is 21. The place value is 1 here, and the place value is 10 here. So that changes the value of this number to 1, and the value of this number is not 2, it's 20, because it's in the tens place. All right, so let's keep going. The next one is 2 times 3, which is 6. So 2 taken 3 times is 6. So the 6 goes right there. The next one is 3 times 3, which is 9. 9 goes there. And the next problem is 4 taken 3 times, or 4 times 3. And that is 12. Okay, 4 times 3 is 12. A 1 and a 2. Okay, so we're all done with this row. So we're going to turn over our ones place over here, signifying that we're done with that row, and now we're ready to do the tens row. Okay, so 7 taken 2 times is 14. So a 1 and a 4. Just like that. 2 taken 2 times is 4. 3 taken 2 times makes 6. And 4 taken 2 times gives us a total of 8. And if you remember from the last lesson, now that we're done with both the ones row and the tens row, it's time to do the second part of the problem, which is the slide. So you simply slide everything that's on the tens row down to the ones row, making sure that if it was in the green square on the tens row, that it stays in the green square on the ones row. Everything from the red square stays in the red square, and everything that's in the blue square stays in the blue square. That's the completion of the second part of the problem. That's called the slide. And then the third part of the problem is to do any exchanging, and we always exchange from right to left. There's simply a 1 there. Don't need to do any exchanging, it's just 1. Here, we're gonna need to do some exchanging. We've gotta combine a 6 and a 4 and a 2. So 6 plus 4 is 10, and then 2 more is 12. So I'm gonna exchange all of those different bars for the simplest, smallest amount of bars that I can, which is a 1 and a 2. A 1 and a 2, 12. The 1 is in the tens place, the 2 is in the ones place. So we put the 2 here and the 1 here. Okay? Now we're going to exchange this. This is a 9. 9 and 1 is 10. We have 4, which makes 14, and 1 more makes 15. We're going to exchange that for 15. We're going to have a 1 and a 5. 1 and 5. So the 1 goes here, the 5 goes here. You're only allowed to have 1 bar in each square when the problem is complete. So we're making sure that the ones place goes in the square that we're working on, and the tens place goes in the square next to it. So this one, for example, would be 6, and 2 is 8, and 1 more is 9. So the 9 would go there. And then the last one is 8 and 1. That's also 9. And we got the same answer that we got on the first passage. Okay, first time we did the problem, we got 99,521. On the second passage, we got 99,521. So you get the same answer, but it's almost like taking a little shortcut because you have a little more practice now. And you've had a little more time to make the problem a little shorter, and it makes the problem a little easier. So come back for the third video, and we're gonna do the multiplication checkerboard, and it'll be the third passage. So practice these problems for a while, use what you've learned, and then when you're ready, we're gonna do the third passage. Thank you very much for watching. This has been Peace Daddy.